Wagwan, we back with another K-production video, and in this video today, you see by the title, we are talking about some Netflix animes that you should probably take the time to watch. Now, by no means am I saying all these animes may or may not be for you. Some you might not like, others you may like a lot. But these are some decent animes that I can recommend, and they're not too bad. Some of them are Netflix originals, and some of them are not. But all of them are animes that you definitely should give a chance. So if you like these type of videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, watch the video all the way to the end. And without further ado, let's stop bullshit and hop into it. First anime recommended on this list is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Okay, that's a dumbass name, but we'll just simplify it to Bunny Girl Senpai. The basic plot of the show is one day the main character happens to be walked into a library and sees a girl in a sexy bunny girl suit that just seems to be walking around in public, seemingly to be pretty invisible to other people, except obviously to the main character, who clearly sees this girl dressed up in a bunny girl suit. Now, this anime slowly divulges and talks about this strange disease called puberty syndrome, and it's really complicated plot that I really don't feel like explaining, and it would make the video so much more longer. But if you like supernatural, psychological type of animes that have drama, a splash of school life, a splash of little romance, then this anime is definitely for you. It's a laid back and chill type of anime that sometimes the characters in the show could be a hit and a miss, but overall pretty good with including all the characters and making it interesting and exciting in the end. Now, I definitely recommend you to watch the first episode of the show. If you're not feeling it and it's not the show for you, drop the anime. That being said, Bunny Girl Senpai is still definitely a great anime and a good watch. Now let's move on to the next anime on this list that's absolutely, completely different from Bunny Girl Senpai. The next anime on this list is Japan Sinks. This anime's plot is fairly self-explanatory. Japan literally sinks, and it is an anime about Japan having a major earthquake which causes volcanoes, tsunamis. Basically, Japan is going into the water. That is technically speaking impossible to happen, but tectonic plates and anime logic, this shit ends up happening. This anime is really good at really capturing the terror and disaster that happens and the urgency the family that is focused on has to have throughout the show. Now, I clearly know by looking at the animation that a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, the animation sucks, but if you get around of that and you take your head out your ass, and this anime is really good. It has good character development. It has a concept of the show that you have to keep on moving forward because it's about surviving through the destruction of Japan. And on top of that, each of the characters start to grow over time, and all the things that happen can end up being pretty sad. So overall, this is a kind of a tragedy and crazy type of anime, and I think it is a really good watch and highly recommend it. I definitely recommend you to watch the first 2 episodes of this show. If you're not feeling it, then you can go ahead and drop it. And if you really hate Japan Sinks that much, you could say Japan Stinks.
Really, nigga?
How's it going on? Get it? No? Alright, I'll stop. Let's move on to the next anime. Next anime on this list is Carole&Tuesday. The main plot or story, whatever you want to call it, of Carole&Tuesday is about these 2 aspiring artists. One is a rich white girl that runs away from her family, decides to head to the city, and the other is a black girl who is fired from her job and also wishes to aspire to be a musician. These 2 girls happen to just meet one day and connect and decide to start playing together, and that's basically the main plot of the show. It progresses and shows how these 2, Carole&Tuesday, work together to eventually form and become big stars, singers. And what is the best thing about this show is definitely the performances in the songs that are played throughout the show. It is really, really good, I have to say. And I'm not gonna lie, after you finish watching this show, you're definitely gonna be adding it to your playlist because these songs are really well done. I will say the story is a little bit of a meh and it can be forgotten, but I feel like the musical part and the performances kind of make up for the lacking of a great story. And plus, the characters overall are pretty good, and most of them that you meet are likable and memorable. Final thoughts on Carole&Tuesday is that it is a decent anime, pretty good actually to watch, and I recommend you to watch the first 2 episodes of this show and really listen to a lot of the songs and music because that is the best thing of the show, and you should definitely download some of the songs on a playlist because I'm telling you right now, them shits are bangers. Anyways, let's get on to the next anime on this list. The next anime on this list is Kakegurui. The main plot of Kakegurui, it revolves around gambling, and basically the setting takes place in a prestigious school where all the kids come from some sort of money, so they loaded, they wealthy. And the way the social hierarchy works in this school is determined by how good you are at gambling, and if you suck at gambling, you're treated like trash, you're treated less than human. And if you get yourself in some gambling debts, you deal with a lot of repercussions. So basically, the better you are at gambling, the more power you will have throughout the school, the more money you will have. And if you suck at gambling, then you're going to be in a lot of debt and you're going to be treated less than human. Kakegurui is a really good anime if you want something completely different from your normal typical animes, looking for something new, then this anime is for you. But I would like to warn you that this anime is unique and really, really weird. Like, people in this anime are literally addicted to gambling, so they get a kick out of it. Like, a literal kick out of gambling and risking a whole lot of money and going into debt. And they really get a kick out of it and enjoy it. So there are definitely going to be a lot of weird moments in this anime. So I would recommend you, just so that you don't get that stigma of that weird dude that likes to watch, in public, then you should watch this anime with headphones by yourself with no friends around or family. But if you're still interested, I definitely recommend you to watch the first 2 episodes of Kakegurui and see how you feel about it, if you like it or not, or if it's just too weird for you. The next anime to watch on this list is Kabanari. This anime was created by the same studio that did the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. So, to be honest, this anime is kind of very, very similar to Attack on Titan. No offense, it's literally like almost a copy and paste of a lot of the characters or even the idea and main concept behind the show. It's literally taking big chunks of what Attack on Titan had and just throwing it on to Kabanari's plot and story. So basically, if you think of Kabanari, think of the plot of Attack on Titan, except the only difference is that there are zombie vampires that can run real fast and are basically like zombies. And the only real difference is that they just happen to be on a train setting, I guess. But what makes this show really good is honestly the fighting and the music. The music and fighting in this anime is really good. Like, the OSTs really just go with the fighting scenes. The fighting is really satisfying, especially with the guns and the swords. Like, all of it's really good. Story-wise, it's okay. It definitely reminds you a lot of Attack on Titan, and the characters do fall a little flat, to be honest. This is definitely one of the weaker animes on this list, but the action is probably the best of all the other animes because there's lots of fighting, and we like to see things that's about that action. So if you want an anime that has a lot of fighting, very similar to Attack on Titan, then this is the anime for you. Check it out, watch it, watch the first 2 episodes maybe, and enjoy it. There also is a movie to it, so boom. The next anime on this list is actually a really good anime, and it is a Netflix original. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's in the top 3, and this one is Beastars. To give you the main plot story of Beastars, it takes place in a world where animals are very human-like. They do human-like things, talk, go to school together, all that type of stuff. So in this world, carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores all live in peace and harmony. But what this show does really well and is very unique is that all these animals do have to deal with their own individual desires. For example, carnivores do have to struggle with dealing with their own animal instinctual desires to hunt herbivores and omnivores, while herbivores have a natural distrust and are slightly, discriminatory towards carnivores because of this fact that carnivores do have the animal instinct to hunt herbivores. This anime does a really good job at displaying all the human emotions despite it being an animal-like society. They display, obviously, desire, personal ambition, bullying, and even the use of drugs in this show. The protagonist of this series, Legoshi, a quiet, loner-like gray wolf, also struggles with his own desires, where one day he meets this dwarf rabbit and is infatuated with her. Now, he is not sure whether it is his animal instinctual desires to hunt and kill her and eat her, or it's out of love and feelings that he has for her. And he struggles throughout the show, and the character development that Legoshi and most of the others these characters go throughout this show is actually pretty good. Like I said already before, Beastars is a darn good anime, and I think it is kind of underrated, but I personally think you should give the first 3 episodes a chance. If you're not liking it, you don't feel it, it's not for you, drop it. Moving on to the next anime on this list, and that is Violet Evergarden. The main plot of the show follows Violet Evergarden's journey as she reintegrates into society because she was once a war veteran. And she has to search for her life purpose since she is no longer a soldier, and also learn how to understand, human emotions. And one of the last words her mentor or / guardian and major told her, which was "I love you." To understand these words, Violet decides to be a auto memory doll. Basically, it's someone that transcribes letters for people who can't write or read for themselves, and in doing so, she hopes to understand and learn the emotions of love and understand her feelings and the feelings that her major was trying to convey towards her. This show is very, very beautiful. Like, the animation is amazing, the storytelling, and the character development of Violet is very well done. And what's best about this show is that it knows how to incorporate their musical OST, which is amazing, and how to dig deep into your emotions. This show will definitely have you water up, tear up, and if possibly, cry. Now, I believe everyone should give this anime definitely a chance and watch this anime all the way through to the end, because the way they use the music, the animation that's really beautiful, that adds to the music as well, and on top of that, the character development and the emotional scenes in this anime are so well done that it makes it very difficult to take your eyes away. Each episode you watch makes you want to have more. So the anime is definitely worth your time. I really believe you should watch this anime all the way from start to finish to the end, because it's just a great anime. To put it simply, there's not much else I can say. I can go on days and days why Violet Evergarden is so good, but take the chance, watch the anime. If you don't like it, hey, whatever. But that's my thoughts on Violet Evergarden. Let's move on to the final anime on this list. Before we get into this last and final anime on this list, just make sure, if you made it to this point of the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps, especially leaving a like, helps with the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, without further ado, the last anime on this list I think you definitely should watch on Netflix is Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Anohana is arguably the best anime on this list and happens to be the oldest one. But what makes the anime really good is how well they are able to develop and progress through the story with a short amount of episodes. There is 11 episodes to this series, but each of the characters that are introduced throughout the show have more character development than most animes that have multiple seasons give to other characters. My point being made, I believe that you should definitely watch this show from once again start to finish. If you want a quick summary of this show, basically, main character Jinta is a recluse, antisocial, rejects society because due to an accident that happens many years ago when he was younger, one of his friends ends up dying, and partly he blames himself. And one day he meets this deceased friend who's supposedly came back to have Jinta fulfill one of her final wishes from him. And to do this, he has to meet his old childhood friends that he used to hang out with, and they all have to reconnect to all work together to fulfill Menma's wish. I can rave for days of just how brilliant this anime really is. It has great character development, phenomenal characters, build up, everything storyline, music. It checks every single box that you want in an anime. So definitely go watch it, try it out. I believe you're gonna love it. And on top of that, Anohana has announced that they are doing some sort of project. We do not know if it's a movie or a TV show, but it is doing some sort of 10-year anniversary because it's been 10 years since the anime came out 2011, 2021. So they might be doing some sort of movie or another TV show. So I definitely think it's a great time to check this anime out. Netflix, you can watch it easy and you're gonna love it. We are finally finished with the video. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to this point, and if you are at this point, make sure you leave a like. Definitely subscribe. You watch my video to the end. Don't bullshit me. Subscribe. Check out these animes. I think they're pretty decent. They're good to really good. So go watch them. Enjoy it. All right, K Productions signing out. Peace.